up, everybody? It's your girl Sofia, aka Sophie, back here on Sophia's Football Talk. Yes, 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 yes. To do an updated version of my Premier League prediction. Alright, the window is now closed. We've played 4 games each team, but has my prediction potentially changed much, if not any, since I first did the video um, a few days before the season started? Yes, it has. I can say it right now. Some big ones that we'll talk about. So everything from relegation battle to, or basically who's going to be relegated, the who'll be just safe, who'll be mid-table, battle it out for the top 6, and who will be the champions of the Prem. We'll talk about that. If you haven't checked that video, feel free to do so. But before we dive in, make sure that you, of course, give this video here a big thumbs up and as well subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are on the road to 3K subscribers, so let's make it happen. Feel free to also, you know, become SFT member. Link is in the description box. I have a live subscribe account on here, so we'll see if that's going to be working. But we're just trying new stuff, elevating the channel each day. Before I fully showcase and share how it all looks like, the new prediction table, I want to say hey to the people that are here. Big up to Football Power Hour. A few hours ago says we will be there. Big up, big up. Big up to Bart. Bart, I'll save this for later so I can, see if we might be in line with having some of the same picks. The same with you, Yuvraj. Big up to you. Hope you're doing well. And Osan says, I see what you've been doing with the thumbnail. So hey, you gotta, you gotta keep people guessing. You gotta make people have a reason to want to um hit the video, right? Give me 1 second. I just need to fix the light here. There we go. There we go. And I think Henry was here as well, but I don't know where Henry left. But okay, big up though. Big up to Des, big up to Twalumba, big up to Ravi, big up to the Shield of Belly Castle. Hope you're doing well. Hope you do well. Alright, so feel free to also, of course, share your opinions. I did save some of your predictions, so we'll talk about it at the end. But should we just dive in? Should we just dive in? Let's do it. Bloop. Here he is. I change it up. You'll literally see it straight as it is, okay? So at the bottom, okay, I probably need to close the banner. There we go. At the bottom, it's unchanged. It's basically the only like unchanged um from the first prediction that I did. So I still am saying and thinking that Wolves and Sheffield United and Luton are all gonna get relegated. So I'm just gonna stand by that because I have a feeling that I know a lot of people also be thinking maybe it's gonna be Everton. Like, is third time really gonna be the charm? Are they really gonna be able to still stand there, still be there again, scrape through? I think because they have Sean Dyche, that's why I feel like they'll do it once more. If they didn't have Sean Dyche, I would have said Everton, no. Okay? So I did change it a little bit up. I do have, if we talk about, okay, so as you can see from like the lower mid table, from 13 to basically 17. Wait, sorry. Woo, is that we have, um, I mean, now I change it up to saying it's going to be Everton. And then Forest, I was kind of initially saying that Forest was just going to scrape through, but now I gave Forest like one more spot ahead. So they're now 16th. Then I ended up saying Bournemouth, um, and then Forest, right? Bournemouth, Palace, and then I just dropped Fulham down, even though Fulham was more of a higher mid-table for me, to be honest. But I was like, you know what, Fulham? I don't know. They lost Mitrovic, um, and they've gotten Jimenez, but obviously he wouldn't really, he has been um definitely not really fully recovered from that really bad injury he had like what 2 3 seasons ago, that head injury, when Wolves played Arsenal. Remember, it was like a collision with David Luiz back then. So he hasn't fully recovered since then. Even though a great player, but not necessarily exactly what they need. Sorry. Ooh, I still am recovering a little bit from the cold, by the way. So my throat is still a little bit, feel it right here. But we will move. We got water with us, so we're gonna try our best. And then who else? Okay, so and also Fulham was almost going to miss Palinia as well. They were just about to for him to go to Bayern, right? Oh god, my throat really is acting up. Jesus, we're gonna make it through, so you can do it. But yeah, Palinia, he now is obviously staying, but he probably will be going in January though. That's the thing. He probably will, to be honest. And then Newcastle, initially, I believe I said Newcastle was going to be. I actually now have them further down, which might be. Yeah, I realize I'm having Newcastle actually at 12th. Interesting. Hmm, interesting. Before then, it actually was Newcastle ninth. But they've been a little bit all over the place. Maybe the Champions League will have something and hindrance. Will have a hindrance potentially. You never know. But I do like Newcastle. But they've been a little bit all over the place so far the first few games, even though they smacked up Villa, you know, early on in one of the opening games. But um, Man City obviously wasn't. Of course, it's Man City. What do what do we expect? I really did expect them to do maybe. They actually did do well against Liverpool, but like they should have, in my opinion, they probably should have been able to win that game. Be a little bit more mm, clinical, is what I'm saying. So that's the only reason. But I do still like Newcastle. This is not me trying to. I hope they do very well, but I'm just saying there are other teams that I maybe think will potentially do a little bit better, such as Brentford, who is in 11th, right, with Thomas Frank. You'll probably do well. And I realize I still have Burnley in 10. I just have a feeling. I know Burnley have had a very bad start to the Prem season. It's been very much different to how it was for them when they played in Championship last season. But still, though, still, ooh, still though, I do have a feeling that they could turn it around. But company gotta be smart though. He can't go toe to toe with a lot of these teams here in the Prem. You know, you gotta be a bit smart. You gotta be a bit different. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be defensively sound. You can't keep getting slapped up five. You know, oh, I said was that they lost like 5-1 or 5-2 to Spurs recently, right? They got to be a bit better. But I still have a feeling that they can do it though. Okay, I still do. And then we have Aston Villa. Okay, with the new logo. Initially, I was saying Aston Villa was going to be seventh, but I, to be honest, I think they probably would go all in for the Conference League. And I almost think they can win the Conference League if I'm going to be very honest. I just I just have like um a really I don't know. I just have a feeling, a big feeling that they could win it with Una Emery already have won Europa League before, right? With Villarreal and whatnot. So is if it's somebody that can do it for them, it'll be Una Emery. So I think that's going to be the case. And then Chelsea, I actually dropped Chelsea to 8. Initially, Chelsea was right behind Liverpool um, on 6, but I decided to put Chelsea there. Chelsea, I don't know. I think there's too much. They're trying way too much. They spent a billion, okay, in what, a year? Still haven't been able to figure it out at all. At all. By the way, Bart, I do see your question. I'm going to answer all those questions at the end. We'll take a moment to answer those questions at the end. The same with you as well, Ravi. There's some good questions here, so I'll answer those at the end. Okay, so we'll do it then. Hello, Niall. I'm good. Hope you're doing good as well. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, with Chelsea. I mean, I was just watching um Ukraine versus England. I don't know how that game ended. Last time I saw it was 1-1. I don't know if that's yeah, it ended in 1-1 actually. Boring game, by the way. Really boring game. Lord have mercy. I ain't getting those minutes back. Like the Sidemen match was way better. Way better. I don't know if any of you guys were watching the Sidemen charity match, but I was watching that. Have it had it on like YouTube on my television, and then I had on Expressions watch along on my computer. And it was just like a vibe watching both. Watching Expressions watch the Sidemen um, charity match, which was like I said a vibe. But yeah, what I was why I started to refer to the Ukraine versus England game is because of such as Mikhailo Mudrik. I ain't gonna lie, this is not me trying to be disrespectful. The guy's not good. He fast, but what is the overall end product? Non-existent. Okay, try to be slick, making fun of somebody at the a guy at the gym because his butt crack was showing, making fun of that. Have you done much after that? No. Instead of focusing on what other people are doing at the gym, maybe focus a bit more on your performance, huh, Mr. Mudrik? That's what I would do. Okay? Still are lacking the goals. Where the goals at, bro? Where the assist at, bro? Okay? You were twerking a few months ago for Arsenal, and then we going to Chelsea. A lot of people saying, yeah, but he went to Chelsea without, like he was forced to do it. He wasn't. He still has a choice. Nobody forced him to put pen into, to put pen to paper and sign on the dotted line. Okay, if he still wanted to go to Arsenal, he could have really done it. Could have just been like, you know what, I'll wait, or something like that, or go to somebody else and maybe not have the most longest contract. But you decided to sign a death row contract with Chelsea. Hasn't worked out. And the same goes for a lot of the other youngsters. Chelsea are just focusing on, they don't really have that many players at the under the age of, or I mean over the age of 25, I should say, right? That's you don't see that many seniors over there. Like I'm older than probably half of Chelsea squad. Like I could be their big sister. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Yo. I'm like, what are we doing here? Okay? It's a bit of a madness. Are they all kindergartners? Is that what we're doing? Huh? Just let me know. Let me know. Maybe that's the case. I don't know, but it kind of feels like it. So I'm just saying, and with Pochettino, I don't know if they're going to be fully giving him the time, because we were thinking this new ownership with Todd Bowley, it's going to be maybe different compared to Roman Abramovich. Hasn't really been. Four managers, okay, technically two, but then two other interim managers, right? Graham Potter, and then you had what was it, Bruno, something something, a bald guy named Bruno. And then no, Thomas Tuchel actually before then, and then Graham Potter came in, and then we had Bruno's was it Salazar, something in that order, and then at the end Frankie G. Okay, Super Frank, Frank Lampard, Frankie L. That guy. Okay, Mr. Frank, Mr. Chels, proper Chels. That dude came in, hasn't worked out. Now they got Pochettino, and Pochettino, although he's a good coach when it comes to especially developing young players, promising players, good indeed. But I just don't know if this is going to be. I don't know with Chelsea. The Chelsea fans have been spoiled. They demand success right now and right there and now. That's what they do. Can they be able to wait, to be patient? I don't know. I don't think so personally. I don't. So that is why I decided to drop them down to an eighth place. And I wanted to bring Brighton up to seventh. Brighton is going to be playing in the Europa League, so but like with the fact that with the recruitment, I think they can still be able to keep themselves within the top eight. So seventh is where I think Brighton will finish. The Zerbi football, it is a little bit like I think for the most part it's really good, but sometimes he can maybe be a little bit naive. It was one game where they was that against Newcastle, I believe, where they lost pretty badly, or I could be mistaken. One or the other. It was one team where they didn't do that well so far this season. Other than that, but they can have it in them where they can be very consistent, and then there can be a game here or through where they can be a bit, ugh, you know, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at. Before we move on to the top six, I want to read some of you guys' comments. The questions I will, especially if it's not necessarily completely in regards to this, then we'll just finish it off at the end with those questions. And yeah, and I'll try to answer every question I can. If I can't, obviously super chats will be mostly prioritized, but we'll try our best. Big up Dark Crow, hope you're doing well. To West Ham, you say? Okay. Fulham and West Ham tried to get McSauce. Yep, 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 yep. They did. He definitely has been cooking for Scotland. We he's like joint top goal scorer with I think Lukaku and Rasmus Højlund in the Europe 2024 qualifiers. Okay, he be cooking. Scotland is in the same group as Norway, Spain, Georgia, Cyprus, and Scotland is at the top of that group. So yeah, big up. Okay. Ooh, we'll save that one. That's a good question. I'll save that one for the end. That's a very good question there about the second manager. Okay, so now we're moving on to top six. So obviously, as you guys can see, I decided to put West Ham six. West Ham is in the Europa League. Technically, they can get Champions League football by winning the Europa League. I know, of course, Liverpool. I think a lot of people are maybe saying like Liverpool is going to do it, but I'm like, you know what? I don't think so. I think West Ham. West Ham 2 seasons ago, semifinal of the Europa League, and obviously last season won the Conference League. There's something there. There's something there for sure. Thank you, Darko. West Ham destroyed Brighton. Yes, that was the team. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. They have it in them where they can have like some howlers here and there. But still, though, still a good team. But with West Ham, they even though they are kind of in the same boat as um I should say Spurs. Spurs lost Harry Kane, which we'll talk about soon. But with West Ham, they lost one of the most biggest important players, their captain, Declan Rice. But they were able to still spend that money wisely and get the additions of, for instance, okay, James Ward-Prowse has been excellent. Okay, also I believe it's Edson Alvarez, who came from Ajax. Very good. Uh, they've been cooking just by them. And also they added a little bit of sprinkle with Mohamed Kudus. Okay, I think he did very well for, I believe, Ghana in the African Nations qualifiers where he scored a screamer. I don't know. That's what I heard. Haven't seen the game, but I heard he did very well. I'm excited to see what else he can do. There's also, of course, more players, but for me, those are the most prominent ones that I'm thinking about right now, right? And also the players that they have already. We still don't know the whole situation with Lucas Paqueta, the whole betting situation, how that is going to unfold. Either way, still an important player. Okay, Jared Bowen as well, and Mikel Antonio started to get a couple of goals himself as well in their first few games of the season. So I don't know. David Moyes, or AKA Moise, is cooking something, and I'm liking how the team, even Thomas Susek. To me, I actually, a lot of people be hating on Thomas Susek. I know, like, people be thinking like, okay, he's still living off of that, great time he had during the COVID era, where he actually was really cooking. I still do think that there's a decent player in there, but he's actually looks pretty decent to me. And Kurt Suma, the cat beater, the animal. Um, let's just say don't keep your animals anywhere near Kurtzuma, especially cats. And that's not me trying to make fun of it, because it's not a laughing matter. Okay, I still haven't forgiven and moved on from those the videos, the images that I saw of what he did to that poor cat. But I digress. Even he been doing well. Aguerd, the Moroccan. By the way, I do want to say my thoughts go out to the Moroccans. I believe it was in Marrakesh, that awful earthquake, where there have been, I think, might have been 300 people, potentially even more deaths, and of course a lot of people affected. So I just want to, you know, take a moment to say that my thoughts goes out to everyone affected in that earthquake. I'm sending my prayers, love to you guys. Um, Legit, it's not easy. What I was saying with Aguerd, the Moroccan, he played well, even though he got that second yellow card in the Chelsea game. He got himself sent off, but either way, good player. There's some good players with West Ham. I'm telling you, I think West Ham can do. Remember West Ham a few seasons ago when they were like there and thereabouts, like top five, top six. They were there. You know, could they maybe do what Leicester have been doing, but be able to push themselves forward? Maybe. I'm just saying, West Ham look good to me, and they could also in January. Maybe they could even, yeah, grab some other gems there. I don't know. Either way, I am pretty much um intrigued to see what West Ham do this season. So that's why I want to say a sixth place. So yeah, West Ham sixth, Chelsea, you're gonna be eight. Before we go into the top four, or technically maybe my reasoning for why I decided to still have Liverpool, I actually realized, no, you know what? I completely messed that up. No, Liverpool was actually sixth and Chelsea was fifth. But now I decided to put Liverpool fifth because I do think they can scrape through and get fifth. That's actually what I changed for now. But let me read some of you guys' comments. Big up to Richard says Liverpool is winning the Premier League and the Europa League. Hmm. Okay. Really?
We'll be there.
Do you care though? Who?
We will be there.
PSG?
We will be there.
As Pep said, we will be there. If that we will be there. It'll be interesting, but I don't see it. Winning the Prem? That ain't happening. So sorry. Boo boo, that ain't happening. Big up to Chelsea. OG. Hope you're doing well. Says we're all mudded, to be honest. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Right, says big up Morocco. Hope things get started for them 100%. I agree. Oh, Yuvraj says, how are you putting Villa and Chelsea 10th and 11th? They will both will bounce back after poor setback. They're not 10th and 11th. Um, Chelsea is 8th. If you see how it looks like right here, Chelsea, I said 8th, and Villa is 9th. So yeah, Villa and Una Emery are a good shot for you, EL Glory. Exactly. And Mac said, ask, hi, how did you and Mina link up? I am about to go and watch a video. I just saw her tweet about it. Oh, big up. No, we've just been, following each other on socials, and she asked me to, to she was wondering if I was able to hop on her Friday night, one of her Friday night lights streams on Fridays, and this particular Friday I was free, so I was like, yeah, so we just, I've been a big fan of hers ever since I saw her at United View, and just this a lot of stuff that she does. I'm a big fan, and she also shows support to me as well. So and I appreciate it, and we definitely will be collabing again. I'll definitely have her on the channel for sure myself. So yeah. Um. Yup. 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 You need a meme of Klopp laughing. Maybe that meme of Klopp. What was it? The hamstring injury, that was funny. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. Next up, Liverpool. I do know I have a lot of Liverpool viewers. Okay, this is a space for everybody. The ops are watching. Hello, ops. Hello. Op number one, op number two, and op number three. I see you. I see you. I know you're here. I know you are here. Okay, I get it. I get it. I see it. I see it. I hear it. I get it. I get it. But to be honest, though, fifth. You'll get fifth again. Technically, before the season started, I said six, and I said Chelsea was going to finish above you. Now, I'll be nice. A, a spot above. I'll give you that. So I'll say fifth. Why? First and foremost, if you didn't check out my video, the stream I did yesterday with ranking the who was it? Ranking all of the Premier League transfers, right? I did. Spoiler alert, though, if you haven't seen it, little spoiler alert, I did rank some of the Liverpool signings pretty high actually. Um, but I still do think that you needed to also get another DM, number one, and also number two, you needed to get another centre back. The attack, nothing wrong with the attack, especially now that Mohamed Salah looks to be still staying. Okay, at least until January. We'll see what happens after that. But now, a few more months, he'll still be here, right? Attack, chef's kiss. Looks good. Nothing wrong with that. Midfield, attacking wise, good. Dominic Szoboszlai, wow. Alexis McAllister, great. Good. Ryan Gravenberch, I don't mind him either, decent. Endo, don't know too much about him, but hey, I digress. Curtis Jones, yeah, progressed. But you still needed to get another DM. And also a center back, for sure. If you would have gotten those two, I would have said title challengers 100%. If you would have gotten those two, I would have said it's a wrap. But hey, this is just what I feel. I think also with the system, the stuff that, you know, the tacticalness of Klopp sometimes could get the best of it. You know, it can be a bit overbearing. It can be a bit to the point where maybe some of the players could get burnt out at the end of it. Maybe. You never know. You never know. That could potentially happen. But this is just me trying to be like I'm just trying to keep it 100. Once again, if you had those two more signings, I would have said number two, second place, 100%. I would have said that. But I'm not convinced. I'm not fully convinced. I'm not. Konate injured. Virgil van Dijk. Does he still have one more match ban? Potentially. Potentially. Either way, it is it's a bit risky. It's a bit risky. You can manage, but this is just what I'm thinking right now. And I know a lot of people do probably disagree with me here. It's fine. It's okay. Big up to Ensman says, I'm here. What did you say about Liverpool? It's basically what I've been saying now, right as you hopped in. Yura says, we are not finishing below United and Tottenham. Okay. Big up to NS Sports TV. Right, says Sofia ops are watching, and that's fine. Clip this. Okay, ops. This is fine. It's okay that you're watching. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure to drop a like though. Okay? Make sure to drop a like. Big up Paul. Hope you're doing well. Richard says, have you been watching Liverpool so for this season? How can you predict us to finish fifth? I have been. The thing is though, I don't get how people be saying like, oh, you're deluded by saying you're gonna fin that I'm gonna that I'm deluded by saying you're gonna finish fifth. I have been watching y'all. I'm pretty sure I watched every game, if not maybe I missed one game. But I watched most of your games so far this season. I'm a lover of football, so I will be. I'm not only just going to be watching Man United, I also like watching the other teams, even teams at the lower parts of the table as well. I think Premier League is the best league and I will be watching everything, right? But I just still am not fully once again, remember this, okay? I'll make this abundantly clear. If you would have gotten those two more signings that I think would have been crucial for you, for sure, okay? Especially in that midfield. Attacking wise with the eighth, great, wonderful. But you also needed to get another DM. Yes, Alexis McAllister has been playing as a six here and there. Okay, he's done a actually pretty great job. But at some point, that's not always gonna work in every game. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you probably should have gotten another DM. And once again, another centre back. Because the injuries with to Konate, that's a bit mad. And with okay, Matip and Joe Gomez, they kind of have showed up a little bit at the end, but at some point maybe it can turn around. You never know. This is just me predicting. I can be completely wrong for sure. Hopefully, I actually hope that you guys do worse than I predict that for you to do. Hold that. I don't want y'all to do well, but I'm gonna keep it 100. So I just feel like you'll do fifth, and that's that. If you disagree, that's fine. But I ain't deluded for it. I ain't deluded for it. That's what I think. Gomez and Matty have been good so far. If they can continue like how they're performing, I think we have enough to get at least top three. We'll see. We'll see. Pick up to N Sports TV says keep sleeping on Chelsea. I'm not even sleeping on Chelsea. I'm wide awake. Sadly, wide awake. Lord, wide awake. Yours says United have so many problems and we wanted to be and want to be written off. We have the mentality. We'll see. We will see. I actually also do think I've been saying this by the way before. I think Klopp will walk by the end of the season. I just have a feeling he gonna walk. I'm not saying he's gonna get sacked because that's not happening. SSG is not gonna be sacking him. He'll probably it's gonna be like a mutual agreement. He has resigned, but obviously he's gonna be paid off, of course. Duh. I just have a feeling it's gonna go left. It's gonna go left. Maybe Mohamed Salah ends up going in January. You never know. You never know. You never know. They can still do use all of that money though. Not necessarily all of that in January, but some of it. But I'm just saying, this just me being trying to be real. And then I decided to still basically I've kept third and fourth the same. So Spurs fourth. Technically, I could have put them third, but I decided to put them fourth. They're definitely getting top four. I do think so. I actually said last season after, what was it? It was right before the Premier League season started last season. I was saying that Spurs was going to finish second, and I was completely wrong because they finished eighth. And I'm pretty sure I said United was going to finish fifth and sixth or something like that, and they finished, of course, third. So, and also I said I was the only I was very right with City though. I did say City's going to win the league. That's happening. So I was right with that. But other than that, I might have been like kind of all over the place with my prediction. It got a little bit better once we changed it up and updated it, and then you get more of a sample piece. With Spurs so far with Ange Ball, it's looking very good. I've seen a lot of content creators be still very much on the opinion of Spurs to probably finish outside of the top six, maybe even like seven, eight. I do think Spurs is definitely going to be surprising a lot of us. So I still believe it's going to be fourth. James Madison has been an incredible um, signing for them. He's been so good. I wish we could have gotten him, but it is what it is. Um, so even though they have lost the Harry Kane, they've found a different way to play, which doesn't have to involve or involve a Harry Kane. You know what I'm saying? So far they're all right, and Angeball is looking good. So fourth, I think they'll manage. They don't have any Europe to focus on, and no, they're out of the Carabao Cup, so technically they don't need to focus on anything before the FA Cup, which is going to be what, like in, I think February or something, or March when that starts up. So they good right now. They don't have to focus on anything. They can just focus on one game a week, and that's the Prem. Unless it's going to be a double game, which I don't see it happening right now. You never know, but essentially one game a week. So I think they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Bracy says, "Club gonna walk?" Question mark. Rah, your anti-Liverpool bias is certainly kicking in. What about? Just remember, just remember who said. The thing is, though, I feel like a lot of people. I ain't gonna hold you. So many people have been kind of sleeping on like the way Liverpool did. Are we forgetting that Liverpool tried to do a quadruple 2 seasons ago and they scraped through and got fifth last season? Are we forgetting that? I think a lot of people actually have forgotten that. So now a lot of people focusing the energy on, okay, Arteta must win the league. United must also challenge. What about Klopp? And Ten Hag is under pressure. He might get sacked. What about Klopp? Guy's been there for freaking 7, 8 years. What are we doing here? And this is not me disrespecting Klopp by any means, but come on. What are we doing here, people? Nah, nah. I see through your BS, people. I see through it. I know I have a lot of ops watching and watch later. Okay, when I say watch in general, the content here. Okay, we don't always just got Man United or Inter fans. We got a lot of Liverpool fans watching. Okay, people that also support Arsenal. Okay, we got it. It's a place for banter, kumbaya, all of that shit. Right? Sorry for my language, but all of it. But all I'm saying is, I haven't forgotten. You might have forgotten, but I haven't. I see through all of it. Okay? And I'll be watching, I'll be lurking, and I 100% is going to be saying, I told you so. When you see Jurgen Klopp, FSG agreement, resigns from Liverpool, oh my God, I'm going to be right there and be like, I told you so. I'm telling you right now, he going to walk. I'm telling you. This season's gonna be it. The fact that the last season wasn't it is a bit. They've definitely had a good start. Don't get it twisted. They've had some good. Hey, they had a good start. 10 out of potential 12 points. Come on, good start. Good start. Hey, I ain't taking that away from them. Okay, we're not doing that. But at some point, the luck is gonna run out. There's no Liverpool bias over here. Okay, Sometimes we do, but right now, actually, generally, I'm actually trying to be very like neutral. I'm trying to. Okay. And Smith says, yeah, we do. Richard asked, do you live in Manchester? Oh no, I don't live in Manchester. I live in Oslo, Norway. Uh, I've been to Manchester twice. Do have family there though. FSG wants that club because they like him too much. That's why I'm saying he will walk. It'll be too much at the end for him to still stay. Because what are we saying? When will it necessarily be questions to be asked to club? Because I don't really see the media doing that much. We're saying we're literally talking too much about like Ten Hag. It's his second season, and we're already on him. And I know there's been a lot of shit happening with Man United. The club is a shambles, abysmal. Okay, from top to bottom. I'm focusing on the people at the top. It ain't good. Don't get that twisted. I'm not trying to be excusing any part of that whatsoever. But all I'm saying is, let's not then divert the focus away from also Klopp and Liverpool. Okay, they made a few signings here, but remember last season when he actually didn't need a DM, he decided to go for Darwin Nunes instead and like Cody Hakpo. Even though both of them so far now, like, hey, I don't mind them, good signings. But did he need that then? No, he didn't. He didn't. Fabinho left, Jordan Henderson left. Just saying. Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. Okay? Brazy says Prem Trophy, UCL Trophy, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, oh, UEFA Super Cup, dinner, plate, shield, Jurgen Club won it all. Okay. Wow. But what is he doing now? Is he still winning? No. No. He was. I'm not taking anything away from what Klopp has done with Liverpool. But come on now. For God's sake. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? When, let's say this season, okay, Europa League, let's say they don't win the Europa League. Let's say they still finish fifth, okay? Next season, maybe they'll get in the Champions League. Okay, what happens then? Are they going to win it? Maybe not. Prem, are we then going to say win the Prem next season? What are we saying? Keep the same energy. That's all. Liverpool is the best city in England. What a nice city. I've never been to Liverpool, but hey, I do like the Scousers accent though. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Will Klopp be walking away like crazy? I'm walking away. Oh, that is one of my favorite songs. From the troubles in my life. Bart says Ten Hag needs time and help in certain departments like transfer dealings, sports science, nutrition, and talent identification. United never signed talent from South America like Enzo, Endrick, Julian. I agree. That's exactly why we need a proper sports director in, scouts, everything to help out because he can't be doing everything by himself. I agree, Bart. You're spot on. You're spot on. We'll talk about Ten Hag shortly. Do, 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 do. Club finna add the Europa to the collection. He's not going to. West Ham will be winning the Europa League. I'm telling you right now. West Ham. And there's also a lot of other Liverpool fans that are saying that I don't know. The thing is, though, will he try to go a little bit easy at it? It'll be interesting to see how he does in the group stages because you could suddenly get knocked out. Like, is he gonna go with a very weak squad and try to see how far he can go in the Prem, how good he can do in the Prem? That's kind of what I feel. I think he's probably gonna put all his eggs in one basket, which is gonna be the Prem and not necessarily the Europa League. I think West Ham is gonna go far. I think Brighton maybe will try to as well go as far as possible. But I just have a feeling with West Ham so far has done very well. They won that conference league. They would want to also win the Europa League since they were in the semifinal 2 years ago. They would want to win, or technically it was a year ago. They would want to also win the Europa League. That's just my opinion. Okay, so next, like I said, with Liverpool fifth, Spurs, kind of already talked about them. With United, I haven't changed my mind. Initially, before the window closed, I mean, I should say before the season started, I was saying Man United will probably finish third again. We haven't had necessarily the best of start. I know that. There's off the pitch stuff. We don't necessarily. We're not going to go into the Anthony thing. That's not going to be the case. But of course, with the Sancho versus Ten Hag thing, like there's been a lot. There's been a lot happening. I personally am tired of it as well. But we've got the Sufin Amrabat in. I'm not fully exactly sure if that's a very bad injury that he has sustained or if that's something that can be hopefully managed. Maybe Haaland could kick out. I don't know, people. I just have a feeling and I believe that Ten Hag will sort it out. And also, I still have a feeling that the Glazers will leave before the year is over. I haven't given up. I still believe. I still believe. But I think, in my honest truth, deep down, I do believe that Ten Hag will steady the ship. But we have to fix all the off the field stuff. Like it's too much stuff happening, and everybody got to be on board. Everybody got to be on the same page, you know. But we also do need to remember we had a horrible start last season. The first, two games were horrendous, and then kind of like the Liverpool game was the turning point. When I said Liverpool game, I'm obviously talking about the Liverpool game at home, which has been the turning point. Um, and we turned it around, which was lovely, of course. But and he had to go through with the stuff with Cristiano Ronaldo, stuff with Maguire, with stuff with Voldemort, MG, number 11, the old number 11, and all that. And now this season, we're also going through bad stuff again. But we managed to win a cup last season. And for a lot of people, rival fans be saying, "Yeah, but it's not important. That one didn't matter." Doesn't it, we're not talking about the significance of that set trophy. That's not the case. But he was able to do what Ole never did. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer never won a trophy. Yes, we got second, but was it really okay? The away record was actually, we were unbeaten in like what 19 games, I think, at some point. But what we also do need to add in context. A lot of them were draws, a lot of them were scrapey draws in those games. So we do need to keep that in mind, by the way, is what I think is important when it comes to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. With Ten Hag, our away record has been not good at all. Especially when it comes to the top six, top nine teams. That is something that we need to change. That's something that I'm expecting for us to change. And I'm expecting that our home record still stays solid. Okay? And I expect us to score more goals. We have to make sure that our wingers stop being selfish. We have a striker now that's going to be a vocal point. Slowly, we have to ease him in. I believe he came in, played a few minutes as well for Denmark the other day. Looked good. Eriksen, by the way, has been playing very well. He had like a hat trick of assists, so he definitely deserves to be playing more. Keep having a spot, 100%. So I'm just gonna believe. But I do believe that we will still be able to finish third, but with another trophy. Yes, I do. The progression would be get another trophy. For me, it will be the FA. I want the FA Cup, and I want us to go as far as possible in the Champions League. Um, we're gonna be facing Bayern, not next week, but the week after that. That's gonna be the first game at the Allianz Stadium, right? That's gonna be difficult, but I'm excited about the signing of Stefan Amrabat. I'm excited about Andre Onana. Haaland is interesting. Mason Mount, y'all know that's not a signing that I'm very fond of. I'm not very excited about that signing whatsoever, but hopefully it can work out. I don't know. Of course, we've had some injuries, but some players will be coming back as well. And I know a lot of people probably like, but yeah, maybe it would make more sense that Liverpool will finish above you guys. I'm just saying, Amrabat definitely adds more of a balance. And I feel like Amrabat could be, I'm not saying exactly, but could be a very good signing in the way that Casemiro was for us last season. Not exactly once again, but have like a close, similar type of impact. Okay? And can maybe have Casemiro just put his shoulders down a little bit, help him out a little bit in that midfield, give that midfield some balance. But we have to have everybody be on the same accord. And I genuinely believe. So I'm going to still say third. Yep, yep. So for the last few minutes, we'll of course discuss the second and first. Um, as I did change my prediction, I was saying Arsenal was going to win before the season started, and now I'm saying it's going to be City. The way City has won like 4 out of 4 games, not that I mean technically the Fulham game was a little bit like all over the place, but I they're gonna do a 4-peat is kind of what you know that's probably gonna be. I don't want that to happen. Don't get it twisted. I don't want Arsenal to win it either. But freaking hell, what am I gonna do? But I just think that Man City, especially for the fact that I was assuming and thinking that they maybe would have uh, that Kyle Walker would have left and Bernardo Silva, but no, both of them have, I believe, signed new contracts or about to. So they're staying at least one or two more seasons, right? That's important. And they've also gotten Kovacic in. Gundogan, of course, left, which is definitely a big loss. Kevin De Bruyne is going to be injured for a while. Um, Emerick Laporte left to Al Nassr. But they did bring in Josko Guardiol, who's a very good signing, of course, as well. And they got Jeremy Doku, who is replacing Riyad Mahrez. And Riyad Mahrez also would be a big miss because he does show up. Good with set pieces, but also good in like clutch moments as well. Even though he didn't really play that much at the end, like he wasn't a part of the FA Cup final. Also, I believe in the Champions League final as well. But still, when you need him for a duration of a season, he does show up. So before we talk about why I decided to put Arsenal second and City first, I want to read some of you guys' comments. Thriller from Manila because you says Glaze in. No. Rich says Liverpool versus Man United at Anfield in 2 months. Yep, we will be there. United can't let these issues overshadow what happens on the pitch. Yep. Nathan, big up to you, says United wait unbeaten over a year at home. We drew away but never went 0-9 with the top 10. Wait, are you talking about this? I mean, with 10, now we talking about with Ule, with unbeaten over a year at home. Because with 10 Hag, we're still unbeaten at home. Yeah. Or no? Or it is. We are actually unbeaten a year at home because that was like early August. So technically, it has been a year. So yeah, you're right. Um, Saints has so many problems with United at the moment. They might struggle. Good point. Tottenham Hotspur are gonna win the Prem. Book it. Really? Imagine though, wouldn't that would be hilarious kind of in a way that once the moment Harry Kane leaves Spurs, they suddenly win a trophy or and that be the Prem? My god, it would probably be like imagine, oh my god, let me just paint the picture. Imagine if Spurs win the Prem, right? And then Bayern doesn't win anything. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Oh my god. Yo, that would be hilarious. It looks like Ten Hag is looking to phase out Casemiro, which begs the question who will buy him as he has 4 years left on his lucrative deal. I don't think he's trying to phase out Casemiro per se, but he can't be the only one play. You need to give him you need to help him out. I think it's supporting with having depth. That's nothing wrong with it. But the thing is, what with Casemiro, like I was also thinking, he's not going to be here forever. We'll get a few seasons from him, but at some point he'll leave. For sure, for sure. Before we slowly start to wrap up, I do also, of course, want to mention Arsenal. So I was thinking Arsenal was going to be maybe winning. I mean, there's been some injuries, of course. Big one to Julian Timber will be gone for a while due to, I think it was cruciate ligament ACL injury or type of injury at least, knee injury. It was. Um, that's unfortunate. Uh, Thomas Partey all over the place. Sometimes also injured. Da, da, da. Kai Harris hasn't really fully kicked on, but Declan Rice has been definitely very important. Um, they showed up a fight at the end against Man United, of course, this past Sunday. Did their thing, came clutch. But I do think, due to Mikel Arteta doing way too much of a experiment here and there, I think that might screw it up for them again. So that's why I decided to change my mind and to say that they're going to finish second. You know, I think with last time that I think last time, like with Man City, often they be having like very shaky starts, but they finish, pros by the way, off in the best way possible, right? But I think the last time maybe where they had like a very good start to a season, that's probably when they finished in the Centurion season when they got the 100 points. I could be wrong. Do correct me if I'm wrong there. Either way, I just have a feeling that Man City probably would be able to just you know they'd be hungry to get a four-peat, try to get as much point as possible, maybe to get another Champions League. I was maybe thinking that they'll probably go for another Champions League, and maybe the league will be like, but the thing is though, with the signings that they've gotten, they the new signings would want to be like, we're going to do everything that we can to get that trophy, to win the Prem, because we want to be a part of that as well, right? We want to be a part of history, we want to be a part of helping Man City get a four-peat, right? Which I hope will not happen, by the way. I really hope they're not going to get a four-peat, but you never know. Either way, I just think that with Pep, they're probably going to be able to do it. That's just my opinion. Richard says Man City are cheat, and I hope they get punished. Hey, Bart says Ten Hag's should be simple. Reach quarterfinal of Champions League and one more cup. Face that expensive players who are old. Finish in top four. Show signs of fluid play and try to retain the Carabao Cup. Check, check. The reason why Brighton's recent manager look 10 times more effective is because of the immaculate work done by the recruitment team and the team that managed to sell players. Yeah, and the thing is though, they already have started to look for a replacement in terms of a new manager, um, even before the Zerbi goes. So in case the Zerbi goes, they already have a replacement in check. They already know who they're going to be getting. Okay, so it's not just about we're going to get player. No, we're going to, you know, make sure that the this team is going to play do how the manager wants. They want to have like this is Brighton's philosophy, okay? So that the other managers that come on in the future are going to play it in the way that we want to play. So we're going to have players that are going to be recruited and fit the system that we have in play. That's what I really wanted Man United to do. I don't want to be the thing that we've done ever since Ferguson have left. We have so many different type of managers with Louis Van Gaal, with very like high possession based football, but very boring, but keeping the ball, and then with of course Jose Mourinho's park the bus type of football, and then with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's vibes at Kumbaya FC, not really a particular pattern there. And then with Ten Hag, which he's been saying he's not trying to do what he did for Ajax. And then when he was the manager at Utrecht, he's trying to do something different here now, right? I want us to, if we, when we have a new manager after Ten Hag, whenever that happens, hopefully that's not going to be him getting sacked, but it's going to be naturally like he'll be here several years, and then he moves on, we move on to somebody else, but that somebody else is going to continue that piece of the puzzle, continue that recipe, use that same recipe, but maybe add a little bit more, sprinkle with something else. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see happen. I don't want it to be we're going to have a defensive minded manager. Okay, this doesn't work. New manager, we're going to have somebody that plays fully attacking football. It's because then you have to scrape everything, okay, start from scratch, get new players to fit that new system. Doesn't make a sense. I think you need to progress forward. Um, so yeah, that's a reason why Brighton has been so successful, and that's the reason why we have not been so successful. We can't just sit here and say just because we spent a lot of money, you expect us to do way better. We haven't spent the money correctly. That's the problem. We haven't been able to fully invest into this team because of the Glazers. Okay, that's the reason why we want them to go. Simple. Trilla says, does Eddie Howe get sacked if Newcastle failed to achieve Europa League at least? I mean, technically, the fact that I'm saying 12, surely you would say that because, yeah, if it goes that left, you would kind of say that in a way. But it depends, though. It really depends. It really depends how far it goes. But technically, they are going backwards. Technically, from what I predicted, they are going backwards. Even though I do really rate Eddie Howe. Um, Bart says one. Okay, so I'm just gonna read some of your guys' comments from earlier before I end the stream. This stream was technically not supposed to be this long, but hey, I had fun though. And big up. This is the live subscriber count right now. So do like, share, and do subscribe. Let's try to make this go to like 2,150 maybe. If any of you guys haven't subscribed yet, that would be great. Great. If we can make that happen, shall we? Okay. But Bart says, okay, so City is gonna be first, winning the Prem. Then Liverpool second, Arsenal third, Spurs fourth, Brighton fifth, all play in the UCL due to the league top two coefficients. Man United, Chelsea, West Ham, Brentford. Okay, so you're saying we're gonna finish sixth. Interesting. Okay. And then Yuvraj is saying my top six prediction are City first, Arsenal second, Liverpool third, Tottenham fifth, no fourth, and then United fifth, and then Chelsea sixth. Okay, okay. I'm telling you once again, club will walk. Remember, I told you. Bart is asking, should United have bought Madison instead of Mason Mount? Yes, I've said this before, and I still stand by that. I would have loved to have Madison over Mount, but it is what it is. Another question from Bart: should United have prioritized signing a long-term right-sided center back instead of signing a backup goalkeeper, as Kuvar could have been that for the reason? Yeah, I think that's fair, and I agree with that. It's a bummer that we didn't get another center back, like somebody that could have been a replacement at some point for a Rafael Ram due to the injuries. And we were literally linked with Kim Min Jae, and he went to Bayern, but also looking at the Sassy who went to Chelsea, which technically I'm okay with that. I didn't really want him, but Todibo from Nice could have been an option for sure. But hey, maybe we'll try to do it in January. I don't know. And then Bart again, given that Axel Twansibe was a free agent until last evening, surely signing him on a 1 year deal could have helped United's back line. I mean, Bart, he left on a free. We didn't need to re sign him. We offloaded him. Like, that would have been like almost when we were trying to, like, maybe, when the Hale's contract got expired. And then there were maybe talks of us maybe resigning, re-signing him again. That doesn't make any sense. His contract ran out, expired this summer. We already were talking about uploading him several months ago, actually, that he was going to go. For me, I really wanted Axel Tuanstebe for it to work. He has been injury prone, though. We have to be honest with that, and the consistency hasn't been enough. But the thing is, though, with Ul, I remember like in the Champions League against PSG, where he had Mbappe and Neymar wrapped around his pinky finger. Freaking hell. It was amazing. But then again, we played like the Turkish guy Besiktas, and then, he didn't have the best of game then. We didn't really see much of him after that. Then he got injured. So it hasn't been the best. But yeah, a free sign, to sign him as a free agent wouldn't make sense at all. Thoughts on your upcoming game versus Brighton? I will be doing live match preview for that, but that's going to be next week. So a week from now, Next Friday we'll do a match preview for that, but I'm not gonna fully dive into that just now, just yet. Bracy says the Shrews will never forget Axel's performance against PSG. What? I ain't go. That was a good performance for me, man. That was a good performance. I was like, yo, I'ma need him to play over Maggie and Lindelöf, but that didn't happen. Now ask the $1 million question: who for you is the first manager to be sacked in your opinion? I've been saying Klopp. He's not gonna be sacked though, but he'll walk. He'll walk. Klopp. Before we end, I do want to hear your thoughts. Who's gonna be the first manager to be sacked in your opinion? Let me know. But yeah, guys, make sure you like. Okay, let's maybe do this. There we go. So if you're just tuning in, rewind and check out my updated prediction. But yeah, make sure you give this video here a big thumbs up, and of course also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are once again on the road to what? 3K subscribers. Okay, on the road to 3K subscribers. So a goal to make that happen before this, month, or by the end of the month, I should say. That would be great. But we'll have to wait and see. Feel free to also join the SFT membership. Also says Aaron Ten Hag will be the first manager to get sacked. Get out of here. I doubt it. Blue says City first, Liverpool second, Arsenal third, Spurs fourth, Newcastle fifth, and Man United sixth. Really? There's a lot of people saying Liverpool like is going to be high up. I'm telling you, I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that's going to be the case. Either way, guys, I got to go. I'll be back tomorrow, midday, to do a live match preview, talk about um, international football. I know a lot of people might not necessarily be super interested in, like, the international break. We want the Prem and all that back, of course, but I sometimes do also like to follow along with the international football. And I know that Norway is going to disappoint me, but we will be doing a live match preview for Norway versus Georgia tomorrow midday. So make sure you are subscribed, have on the notification bell button so you don't miss out when I'm live next. Like the video again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Sophie's out. Bye bye.
Are you all right? Yes. No, you are all left.